Hello mate, and welcome to this very quick introduction to BlueJ. BlueJ is a Java compiler that is useful for learning to code, particularly people who might not be completely comfortable with object-oriented programming. As you can see, I've already got a couple of things on the screen I've created for the purposes of this demonstration. And we've got a couple of commands that have been run down in the bottom right hand corner so that you can see that methods are indeed case sensitive. But let's have a look at this in the top left hand corner at the moment. As you can see, I've got this beige box with fruit entitled in it, and if I double click on it, bring up the code for this class. Within our class, we've stated that we have a class called fruit with a capital F, and then that class has three fields: string name, string color, string shape, and you can see that I've declared them as things already, but you actually don't need to do that. We could get away with removing those completely. Now, if you remember from my previous video where I talked about having multiple constructors, that's what I've actually demonstrated here. So our constructor for our class, as you can see, public fruit, which means that it's a public class of the name fruit. And then we've got our three field names, name, color, and shape, within our brackets or our parentheses, which are our fields. So when we declare our class, we have the option of declaring a instance of a class and telling Java that our class needs to have a name, a color, and a shape, and it's going to be the values that we put in. So I could create the class instance by providing those. However, I also have a constructor with no attributes being passed in our curly braces. As you can see here, my constructor here is just a set of empty parentheses followed by curly braces where there is no actual attributes being passed in. Instead, what we're doing is we're telling the compiler that the default values for these, if we were to just say create a instance of the class fruit without stating what those properties are or those attributes are, it's going to automatically assign them apple, red, and round. And then we've got a method, which is a function within our class that will return a value. So as you can see here, we've got get fruit. We're not passing in any parameters, we're just saying the method is called getFruit, and it's going to return a string. This is our return type. So when I actually type in the method name, it will actually return a string saying return name, which is this parameter, and the color, which is this parameter, and then shape, which is this parameter, or whatever values I put in. So if I close this window down for a moment, I just have to remember to hit compile so that we've actually got our functioning class. And then what I can do is I can right click on my class here, and you can see that at the top I've got two options. I've got new fruit with no parameters to be passed, and then also the option to use the constructor where we do pass in the attributes there. So if I just click on this one, you can see it's asking for a name of the instance. We're just going to leave it as fruit1 for now. And you can see now that in the bottom left hand corner we have an instance of that class, and if I were to double click on that, you can see that it's been given the properties apple, red, and round as its fields or as its attributes. Now if I was to right click on it and to choose this one, it's actually going to ask me to put in the values for the variables. So if I input a string, remembering that I have to use speak quotation marks in order to do so, so we'll call this orange. The color is obviously orange as well, and then this is also a round fruit, and then we can just hit OK. And now we have two class instances, one with the default values and then a second one with these values. So if I were to come into my command pad here and I were to just type in fruit1.get fruit, apple is red and is round. Cool. Now if I do the same thing for fruit2, I have to remember not to press the Alt key while I'm typing. Seems to be locked. There we go. Silly me. Get fruit. Orange is orange and is round. So what we've done is we've actually declared the method that we defined within our fruit class, and we can call it for each instance, and in each instance it returns a different value because our instances have different attributes within the fields. So that is a really simple explanation of object-oriented programming, kind of with a bit of visible guide. BlueJ is free. You can download it. You can just Google it. It's BlueJ, spelled B-L-U-E-J, and you can download it, and it's a really useful Java compiler if you are so interested. But as I said, a very quick whistle-stop tour of one of the things that you can do with BlueJ to help you visualize what's happening when you create classes and instances of those classes. I hope you found that useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. But until then, you take damn good care of yourselves, alright? Bye-bye.